What's going on, everybody? It's Luke here from Play Like a Jet. It's my initial draft reaction, day one of the 2023 NFL draft. And the New York Jets, they made a bit of a surprise pick at number 15 overall, and they took Will McDonald IV out of Iowa State, the edge rusher. Initially, I was kind of riding the same wave of emotion as everyone else. I was watching the tackles come off the board. Then my attention, when we got on the clock, went to JSN, Kincaid, and then also to Kalijah Cansey. They were kind of the three guys that I had my eye on, with also Nolan Smith in the peripheral as well. When Will McDonald's name came up, I was pretty surprised. I'll be honest, I was shocked. But as I got off the air and I started to think about the pick, I'm actually more okay with it than probably most Jets fans. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about his strengths and what I liked about Will McDonald as a pass rusher. I put together a draft guide. You can see it on the screen now. And Will McDonald was my fifth edge overall, but he was in a tier together with Lucas Van Ness, who went a couple of picks earlier to the Green Bay Packers. His tape was some of the most frustrating to watch of any prospect I've ever evaluated. Will McDonald is a 3-4 outside linebacker or a 4-3 weak side defensive end, but in Matt Campbell's scheme, he was miscast. He was used as a 4-eye, 5 technique, head over the tackle, and asked to be physical at the point of attack, and that's not who he is. He's this bendy, fluid mover who has powerful hips, able to turn the corner through contact to flatten and get to the quarterback. You saw him do that in limited opportunities. He was just used in a role that he will not see for New York Jets and Robert Saleh's defense. He's going to be the weak side defensive end, that wide 9, and on passing situations and obvious passing downs, he is going to be shot out of a cannon, use that runway, and try and get the quarterback. What I liked about the pick from Joe Douglas is that he didn't force a need. He didn't feel like he had to reach and get an Anton Harrison because the value didn't match the need. The Jets obviously valued Will McDonald IV's skill set, and they were happy to take him at 15 after they couldn't trade down. I'm entirely positive that the Jets wanted to get out of that spot once Broderick Jones was selected ahead of them. They couldn't because this draft is relatively weak. No one was coming up for Gonzalez or Levis in the end, so they stood pat and they took Will McDonald. I'm going to make you feel better about this pick if you're sitting here going, I just can't believe the Jets did this. Will McDonald might be the best pure pass rusher in this class. You just didn't get to see it a lot because Matt Campbell used him in that way I mentioned earlier. According to PFF, over the last 2 seasons, he's had a pass rush grade of 84 both of those years. But what really stands out in true pass reps, so that's when you've got the tackle one-on-one against the edge rusher, out in space, traditional drop back, he had a 92 grade in 2022. He was elite. He was the best of the best last season when it came to rushing the passer one-on-one in a situation in space outside the tackle. The best of any draft-eligible edge. Again, you just didn't see it. He had 13 sacks in 2021, if you don't include half sacks. He had 11 and a half, according to most stats. But he had 13 times that he got to the quarterback and won. That was on 250 pass reps. This is a guy, make no mistake, that can get to the passer. We know he can. That's what I liked about the Will McDonald pick. What is there not to like? The Jets still have a lot of holes at offensive tackle, but I talked about it. There wasn't really a fit there. They didn't give Aaron Rodgers a weapon. It would have been great to push that offense to an elite stratosphere with a Kincaid or a JSN, but it wasn't to be. As far as McDonald specifically, you're projecting him to be really good in this role, but you're still a bit uneasy about his run defense. It will be better moved outside the tackles to a 7 or 9 technique. He's not going to see anywhere near the double teams or 300-pound frames coming at him like he did from guards. But he is a 24-year-old prospect once this season kicks off. He's an older guy, but the athleticism just jumped off the film. He had an RAS of 9.6. He was one of the freakiest, bendiest athletes in this class, and that's why Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas coveted him so highly. How does he fit in this group? Well, Carl Lawson's here for 1 year max, and he's on big money. They tendered Bryce Huff, second-round tender, $5 million contract for 1 year. Both of those guys will not be here in 2024, you'd imagine. He's going to play the weak side. That means he's going to be in that wide 9 technique, and he's going to rush the passer from there. On early passing situations, you can ease him in. You can get him on the bench and then kind of allow him to come in and rush the passer situationally, but he can definitely handle himself against the rush. He was doing it as a 4-eye tech in college, for goodness sake. He can handle doing that from a 7 tech in Robert Saleh's scheme. On the other side, I think you're going to see more of Johnson and you're going to see more of Clemens. And I think that's going to release JFM to kick inside more. And I love that for him next to Quinnen Williams. I think overall, Robert Saleh covets getting to the quarterback. We know that Joe Douglas loves building through the trenches, so this definitely fits both of their MO and what they want in a prospect and in their team building process. So that's where I'm at right now with the Will McDonald pick. I think it was a surprise. I think, yeah, I could have gone in some different directions and I probably would have. But all in all, I'm left feeling like the Jets got a potential star. They think he is Brian Burns. That's what they said in their press conference. They believe that Will McDonald has the ability to be a Brian Burns, Randy Gregory type athlete. That's exciting. The skill set is there. You can see my scouting report. Yes, I think it's easy to get down because we didn't get a tackle. We didn't get a superstar, weapon to help Aaron Rodgers in this offense. But you remember, the good teams, they never draft for need. Howie Roseman has been drafting defensive linemen for the last 10 years. And today he's still got two incredibly good ones. Yes, their roster, the Eagles, is ahead of where the Jets is as far as its development. But good teams will always match best player available, positional value, positional scarcity, and then need. I think the Jets did a good job of that. I think this is going to be a pick that's hated by a lot of fans and by a lot of media pundits. But as I'm sitting here and evaluating it, I don't mind it at all. Was it my perfect pick? No. But I'm here to talk you off the ledge. Will McDonald IV is a football player. He's got his best football ahead of him as he kicks out to the 9 tech in this defense, and I'm excited to see him play.